March 14th, Monday, in Boston.
But I could kind of feel that he started to know who I was. He said maybe I'll let you know. Just maybe. Let's see how things go.
Some kind of a highway. Highway 90, I think.
And that's when he waved a white towel and gave himself up, ending the largest manhunt in Georgia state history. Joining us this morning.
Actually, we're on top of the freeway.
Police Chief Charles Walters.
我们在 freeway 的上面呢。它这个 hotel 在 freeway 的上面。
Did you have any idea where Brian Nichols was before that phone call from Ashley Smith?
No, I think it's safe to say no one in Georgia law.
We're on top of the freeway, this hotel.
Then Major Halsey, give me a sense of your surprise.
我在 freeway 的上面，你以为？freeway 的上面，那他的那个哪一段
？Made herself a person, not just an object, and she has an amazing capability for survival. We're just great.
First, let's talk about
What is this painting?
And the deputy who was disarmed allegedly by Mr. Nichols. Should you?
这个 painting 都是。
难看的要死啊！不然说这个没有钱。
Look at over and over again and see if there's
What is this name?
And policies, but I think it'd be fair for me to make a comment about that.
你玩那个
Games.
As a law enforcement
You can play games here.
certainly knows his way in and out of the courtroom. It's one of the questions that many people, of course, are
擦
asking
皮
today.
鞋的，不是擦皮鞋，你说擦皮鞋。
I think there has to be.
There's high-speed internet access. This is the mouse pad.
Major Halsey,
Houses on the hills.
I mean, how many missteps do you think were made by law enforcement in this?
I can't speak to any missteps that was made by any other agency.
The church.
I would say that they were getting information out to all of Metro Atlanta, as far as I know, all over Georgia, in a very timely fashion. We had photographs and all the information we needed. They were.
Sheraton Hotel on top of a freeway. Freeway 90, Highway 90.
Stocks were down last week. Higher oil prices and inflation fears sent the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P down the roller coaster and down 7%.
This is an off-ramp from a freeway.
6% for the year now. Yes, tech stocks.
Houses on the hill.
This morning, futures are up. A couple of deals in the works with.
下面是高速公路，这个旅馆在高速公路上面。没有看过这样的，也是会有啊。平常应该是在高速公路这边上，就在那里，就在高速公路上，这上面一个平台一样。下面
3月14号 ，OK March the 14th， OK 要说一下就是这一边是 Boston， 还有就是 Boston 呢，英国人到这边的时候是在1665年到1667年的时候，他们一到这边。在美国的东部的，应该说东北部的 ，Okay, so when the British came to America, they first landed over here in 1665 to 67. Okay, they landed in Boston. 好了，那么为什么会他们停在这边呢？很简单，就是因为在那个 Manhattan， 在纽约市，一到的时候已经有荷兰人了。OK， 所以英国人就决定就过来这一边 ，OK，because why they didn't go? The British didn't go to New York City, because at the time, in 1609, the Duchess they already landed in Manhattan, more to the east, so they landed in Boston. 好了，那么大概在1770年的时候呢。 OK， 他们就有很多捐兵到这个 Boston 这边。1770年的时候 ，by 1770， OK， 所以呢，是有一天呢，就是有一些美国人，有一些捐兵，大家合作就打死了几个美国人。那么其中一个是一个黑人，当时已经没有黑奴了，那时候已经。OK，so 应该说还有黑奴，因为黑奴没有黑奴，那个人不是黑奴，因为他是唯一一个不是黑奴的，因为解放黑奴是在1865年65年的时候的 ，OK， 那么在1770年的时候，非常非常小的黑人都是黑奴的 ，OK，so I'm saying that in 1770, okay, in 1770, there were a lot of British soldiers here, and the Native Americans, or the Americans that were living here, they were not pleased, you know, with the military over here in the so-called Boston area. Okay, and another thing is that the taxes were very high at the time. So one day in 1770, they had a fight, and few of the soldiers, they started to fire, and they killed about 3 civilians, and they wounded 3 civilians, and one of them were a black. He was not a slave, and that's how the story goes. 那么在1773年的时候呢 ，OK， 就是英国人呢有一个叫East Indian Company，OK， 一家公司叫印第安人公司在英国过来的，就拿很多茶叶过来的。因为那家公司很大，而且呢，他们很快就要破产的，在1773年的时候。那么他们是唯一一个到美国呢卖的茶叶是免税的，免税就是说你不需要付税。他们拿了很多茶叶过来，那么他们就做了一些动作，谁和我买的话，哪一家大的公司。只有买他的茶叶就不需要付税的 ，OK， 那么就美国人感觉到不公平 ，OK， 所以呢有一个叫Samuel Adams 呢，他就做了一些东西，还加一些美国人一起装好像印第安人去到那个船，去到英国人的船那边，全部的茶叶都掉在海中里。那时候在1773年，那个茶叶价格是1万多英镑嘛。1773年的时候，很多钱了，对不对啊 ？Okay, so this is what happened in 1773. In 1773, there was a company known as East Indian Company. Okay, they were on the verge of bankruptcy. Okay, so they bought a lot of tea to the U.S. and they were the only one granted free tax. So whoever franchised them, they would sell the tea free tax. So a lot of Americans, they felt, you know, that was unjustified. Okay, they were not pleased. And so there was a person named Samuel Adams. Okay, Samuel Adams and a few Americans, they put on as Native American Indians. They went to the boat and they throw all the tea leaves into the ocean. And at the time in 1773, the value of the tea was over 10,000 pounds. So you can imagine, you know, how much it was worth at 10,000 pounds. Okay. 好了，那么从那时候开始呢，英国人就感觉到美国人就在这边可能会有一个打仗的动势。在1775年的时候呢，在英国在拿了很多捐兵过来呢，在准备呢，就是要和美国人打仗的。因为在这边，在 Boston 这边，他们有一个地方当时呢做武器的。那么就英国人呢就知道有一个地方叫 Lexington， 一个是 Lexington 的一个地区，还有一个地区是叫 Concord， 两个地方。Concord 的地方是做武器的 ，OK。那么美国捐兵就要去到英国捐兵要去到那边，就停止不给他们生产武器的 ，OK。 那时候开始打那个仗了，已经开始。Okay, so in 1775, the British were aware that there was a riot or war that's supposed to start. So they sent in a lot of troops from Britain. And because there is a neighborhood here known as the Concord neighborhood, over here they were assembling ammunition, the Americans, and the British, they were going to stop them by manufacturing ammunition in Concord. And that was one place, and the other place was Lexington, was another neighborhood in the state of Massachusetts. We are currently in Boston, right? So they have a lot of different neighborhoods, okay? 那么现在我们是在 Boston, okay? 在麻省的，那么麻省有很多地区的，一个地区叫 Concord 地区，一个地区叫Lexington 地区 ，OK， 所以我就说那个打仗开始是在这两个地方开始的 ，all right。All right, so in 1775, the first war in Concord, the Americans lost. OK， 第一个仗呢打呢，在1775年呢，美国人就输了这个仗。那么第二个仗是在 Lexington， 美国人就打赢这个仗了。OK， 那时候有差不多300个英国军兵就受伤了，只有90多个美国人受伤。所以你看到美国人当时都挺厉害的。OK，so in 1775, OK, during the Lexington War, close to 300 British soldiers, to be more precise, was 273 soldiers, British, were wounded, and only 95 Americans were wounded, so they were winning, okay? However, later on, the Americans ran out of ammunition, and they stopped the war there. 那么那时候呢，打到一般呢，美国人的军兵他们的武器不够，就停了这个仗。同一时间呢，是在1775年的时候呢，美国人呢就选了 Washington。Washington 那时候是一个军人 ，OK， 去打这个仗的，就是做领导应该说 ，OK。So in 1775, they appointed Washington to be the leader or general of the war. 那么为什么要选华盛顿呢？因为华盛顿有很多经验打仗。OK， 他是在1722年的时候，他已经打过仗了，华盛顿，所以他非常有经验的。而且华盛顿是在美国出生的，他们当然要选一个美国人去帮打这个仗，打这个独立战争的仗。OK，and the other thing that is why do they choose Washington to be a general or leader of the war? Because Washington had a lot of experience. He started his experience since 1722. He fought for with the French and the Native American Indians. So he had a lot of experience while he was a military with the British. 那么当华盛顿当兵的时候和英国人的时候呢，在1722年的时候，他先帮英国人打和法国人打仗，在美国，还有和那些美国的印第安人打仗。因为那时候呢，在1700年的时候是很乱的，那时候还是说美国还没有美国，因为每一个国家过来这边住的都是 OK。On 1700, you know, at the time, there was no such thing as America. Every country were moving down here to colonize their place. OK。好了，那么从 Boston 一直打到回去到纽约，最后的仗是在 Saratoga， 上州纽约有一个地区叫 Saratoga， 所以美国打赢这个仗了。OK，so the last war was fought in the U.S. was the Battle of Saratoga. OK, it was in upstate New York. 那么在1776年的时候呢，在1776年的时候，12月24号。OK， so 美国人在Delaware州在Delaware州一直打到去圣詹水州打赢这个仗，就是打败英国人的应该说 OK， So in 1776, on Christmas Eve, okay,